There will be, but not yet. One of you check to make sure it's in focus for me. You want to jump in? Thank you. Potentially. We're good? What is up, SUI? My name is McKay. I'm an online youth lead, and welcome to another edition of the Youth Booth, a show where I interview students talking faith, how they're navigating that, and this is a very special episode. We are at senior retreat. It has been a crazy experience so far.
To say the least.
We're going to have some seniors kind of rotating in and out. My first senior here today, can you tell me your name, what campus you go to, and your favorite pizza topping?
Well, I got you. Okay, so my name's Xavier. I go to Sandals Youth, Hunter Park. And favorite pizza topping? Gotta go with pepperoni. It's a classic.
It's a classic.
Never go
That's
wrong
for
with
sure.
the classic.
That's for sure. I can't knock it. So, Xavier, how long have you been attending Sandals Church Youth?
I've been going to youth since the end of freshman year, so like 3.5 years.
Okay.
Now.
How has the last 3.5, almost 4 years been for you? What are some of the things you've kind of gone through as you've grown through Sandals Church Youth?
Oh, man. Truthfully, I'm a person that like kind of lived two identities. I never found a connection to one. I always wanted to hide my faith, and then I always wanted to be the center of attention at the same time.
Yeah.
And for the past 3.5 years, I spent basically trying to like figure out how to combine them as one and stop being a hypocrite, basically.
Yeah.
To where I'm at now, and I found my identity fully, where I don't gotta lie at school and say like, oh no, being a Christian sucks.
That's awesome.
To where I'm like, it's not like, man, I love being a Christian.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's dope to hear that story. So you've been up at senior retreat. It's our day 2. Mm-hmm. We just came off this like crazy worship experience.
Oh,
the Lord was moving. I saw you praying over people. Tell me a little bit about what was going on for you in that time.
I saw my brothers like on their knees crying. And, I've been a person that, like, truthfully, like, I don't shed tears fully, but I feel my soul shed tears.
Yeah.
In that moment, it was just like, it wasn't like a physical where I chose to move towards them and start praying over them. It was more like God moved me, in a sense. And in that moment, like, words flowed. From my perspective, I thought I was speaking in tongues, not making sense. Mm-hmm. And then from hearing what my brothers in Christ were saying, they said it didn't sound like I was speaking, it sounded like God was speaking. So
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it was
that's
a crazy moment.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so cool to see. Because, I've interacted with you a little bit on Instagram. I see the scripture videos you be posting, you be preaching. And to get to watch you and all the Hunter Park boys, hopefully you get a couple more on here, but
I'll make sure.
Getting to watch all of you guys, really just lean in and experience God in a new way was pretty dope. So
it's been amazing, man.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What do you have coming down the line for you next after high school?
I'm studying theology. I'm going to be a pastor.
Nice.
I plan on going to RCC for 2 years for the Promise program, get my general education classes out the way, and then go to CBU to get my master's in theology.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, Xavier, I appreciate it. Thank you for jumping on. Enjoy the rest of your senior retreat, man.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too. All right, who we got next? Who's going to slide through? You want to get on this? Yeah, come on. That's for all seniors. Izzy. I'm tagging you in now. I'm cheating the system a little bit. I'm getting one of my Palm Avenue seniors here. Izzy, can you please tell me your name, what campus you go to, and your favorite color?
My name is Isabel, but everybody calls me Izzy. I go to Palm, and my favorite color is blue.
Favorite color is blue. Okay, yeah. I respect it. How long have you been going to Palm's Sandals, or Palm Youth?
To Palm Youth? 2020 in August.
Oh, wow. Okay. So almost 5 years now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How has your life changed in the time that you've been at youth?
It's like a complete 180, if not like even more drastic than that. I don't know what that would be. I was really struggling with like a lot of stuff in that time in my life, especially because it was COVID, so my mental health wasn't doing well. I wasn't hanging out with anybody. I wasn't in school, so, but now I'm like, I have a group of girls that I love very deeply. I have friends I can rely on. I have adults I can go to. And I have like so much more confidence in that now than I used to.
That's awesome. That's cool. So, like I just talked about with Xavier a little bit, we had this pretty crazy worship experience up here at Senior Retreat. What was that like for you? What were some things going on as you were in that moment?
I think that today God's just really been speaking to me, and like there's been a lot of stuff that's happened over the years that like I didn't connect or put together in my brain, and like I just remembered them and put them together today, and like realized different things that God was doing and moving in my life. And so I think going into that like moment of worship, or like not moment, it was very much longer than that.
Right.
But going into that time of worship and just like bringing it all to God, and like just laying everything that He's telling me at His feet, all of my gratitude for what He's done in my life.
Yeah.
All of just everything that He's done for me over the past 5 years, but like 16 years that I've been alive. Like that was just like song after song after song, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever experienced anything like that before at church?
We've had worship nights and like other stuff in the past, and I've definitely felt like God moving in those moments, but I think tonight, because obviously I've never been where I'm at before, life-wise, location-wise,
right.
Like this is the first time that I'm in my senior year. It's the first time I'm like with all of the girls in my group at this camp. It's the first time that all these pieces are clicking together in my head.
Yeah.
And so I think because of all those factors, like God has, like I've been really connected with God before during worship moments, but I think this was like deeper than that, because for the first time I was like, I had a deeper understanding of myself and where I was at in that, and like where I'm going, and like what I want to do. And I feel like that added layer of it really just connected deeper.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad to hear that. It's been really cool to see all of the Palm seniors, especially because that's where I'm serving at.
Yeah.
Really see you guys lean into your faith and start to own it and make it your own, and it not be something that you just go to, but that you really identify and live out. So that's awesome. So what's next for you after you graduate high school?
I'm going to CBU.
Nice.
I am still gonna, live at home and commute there. And I'm gonna major in English.
Shout out English majors.
I love English and reading and writing. And I'm gonna start looking into a Christian studies double major, which, is part of everything that happened today.
Yeah.
And, staying local, getting more connected with my church, stepping out more in that than I have before, I think is my plan.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Izzy, thank you for being on today. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your senior retreat.
You too.
Thank you. Well, that's just 2 seniors that we've had so far. As a leader, it's been pretty crazy, like I've said a few times now, to see just the Spirit lead and work through our students. It's been a great time, a great experience so far. So we'll see if I can get another student to kind of just slowly make their way up to the chair. We got games of like Mafia going. We got some piano playing. I think someone's watching a UFC fight. Hopefully they got it legally. Theo, do you want to be on the show? Come on. Come on, Theo. All right, that's what it is. That's what it is. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I feel like I remember your name from last summer internship.
Yep, I'm Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say, I didn't say it.
Yeah.
Phoenix, tell me your name, what campus you go to, and who you think is going to win the main card right now.
Well, it actually just ended.
Oh, did it end already?
Yeah.
All right, never mind.
But my name is Phoenix, and I'm from the Hunter Park campus.
Nice. Phoenix, how long have you been attending at Hunter Park?
Man, ever since I think I was a toddler. I
Really?
think my parents started coming when my older sister was born, and they took a little break.
Right.
And then came back when I was about a toddler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I basically grew up in the church.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. What has it been like for you, reflecting on the last 4 years of high school? What are some of the things like you're processing, maybe being grateful for, or kind of like letting go and giving to God?
Man, I feel like I'm grateful for the experiences I've had.
Yeah.
You know, both good and bad. I feel like it's shaped me as a person, and it's ultimately built my relationship with the Lord. And just like looking back on like freshman year and sophomore year, I can see like such a drastic change in my character and the way I treat people, the way I talk to people. So,
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So I've been lucky enough to know you for some time now. I got to kind of watch you and the other Hunter Park interns last summer go through this process. How has the internship, like serving the church in that way, kind of changed how you view and see the things that like we do for our students and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I know growing up in the church, I always saw people getting involved with the church, but I was always like, I guess, kind of hesitant to like take that step. But this summer, when I actually took the step, I just saw change. You know, I saw how the Lord moved in different areas of the church, and how so many people like come together like behind the scenes to make everything possible. And it's just truly amazing to see like the transformation of people, and especially myself.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. What has, obviously the big question for tonight was this worship experience we just had. What was kind of God putting on your heart? What was going through your mind as we were in that moment?
If I'm being real, I was initially like overcome with anxiety and fear.
Okay.
You know, I started like getting worried of what my future is gonna look like. I feel like right now, like my relationship with the Lord is so strong, and like I'm on fire for Him. You know, I have this hunger that I've never felt in my life. But you know, in a couple months, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be off at college. Out of state, in state, I don't know yet, but I know that I'm gonna be away from home, away from Sandals, away from the community. But during worship, with all those emotions and worry like building up, I then felt like a sense of peace. You know? And I was reminded of scripture from, I think it's Psalm 139, where it talks about how the Lord is always with you. You can't hide from Him. So just knowing that like gave me hope and like reassurance that I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be set.
We've obviously talked about that like quite a few times this weekend of like, hey, some people are going to college close, some are going far, some are doing trades, like all these different options. How do you think this weekend has kind of helped prepared you for that? Like knowing, okay, I'm gonna be a little removed from my community right now. How are you preparing for those moments and seasons?
Like most of it is me mentally preparing for it. You know, like getting ready for the change. Because I know for some people when change happens, like they like freak out and they're like, oh, like what do I do? And I used to be that kind of person, but like throughout, you know, talking to my leader Blake and all this stuff, I just feel like being prepared and knowing in my mind that, like I said, Lord is always with me, Lord is always beside me. I feel like that really helped me.
Nice. Well, Phoenix, it's been a blessing watching you grow up, kind of step into these roles. What advice would you give to a ninth grader watching this right now?
Ooh, get involved with the church. Man, serve. You know, like the best thing you can do to get plugged in with Sandals is by serving on a team. That could be production, worship. I did kids for a little bit, and that was truly amazing. Being able to see kids younger than me, you know, grow in their faith. Get involved.
That's awesome. Well, Phoenix, thank you for taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your night, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Oh man, keep choking on my own spit here. All right, that's just a few students we've had so far. It has truly, genuinely been a pretty amazing experience. I know I sound like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid right now, but this one has been different. I've been at a couple different senior retreats, and this one's just tugging on all the right heartstrings. So let's see what other students we can get up here. Hopefully we can get some. I see Lake Arrowhead over here. Anaheim looks like they're in the middle of a game, so kind of letting their play it out. My Palm kids are still hanging. We'll see how it goes. If you want to jump in. I'm just asking questions about senior retreat. I've gotten to the point where like some students will be interested and like kind of slowly work their way over, but hello, my name is McKay.
Sam.
Can you tell me your name, what campus you attend, and your favorite thing to get from Del Taco?
Sam, Menifee, and chili cheese fries.
Oh, chili cheese fries.
They're good.
Those are slept on at Del Taco. Menifee campus, that's pretty awesome. I feel like I don't get to see Menifee very often.
You should visit.
I know. I'm trying to get out there more often. It's actually something I'm working on. But how would you explain the culture that the students have built at your Menifee campus?
They definitely understand the vision.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful that they're willing to figure out what it looks like for themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, being real is not like something you can fake. It's not something that you can like, oh, that's that person being real. Like, I'm gonna do that. Like, you can, but only to a certain extent.
Right.
And I think they understand that like their experience is going to be limited by their willingness to like live out the vision.
Yeah.
So I think our campus is growing like crazy. It's not crazy, it's God, you know, but it's really cool. And I'm thankful that even though we're growing, that we have students that model that culture for the students that are going to be coming in.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's so cool, even as leaders, to see students take that on their own, not even like it just becomes a part of them and they jump right in. So that's awesome. How long have you been with wow, we're locking in.
And that's senior retreat.
Yeah, exactly. It's now 10 o'clock and it's not slowing down. How long have you been with your group of girls?
Since middle of 2022, so 3 years.
So roughly like freshman year, kind of getting into sophomore year?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, our campus is growing, so I've just been high school girls the whole time.
Oh, okay.
So no matter what grade they were, this is actually my third senior retreat too.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite part watching all your senior girls here at senior retreat?
I mean, for me personally, I love the worship, but my favorite part for them, I think, is the free time.
Yeah.
I love seeing like what they choose to do when no one's telling them what to do.
Right.
And it's cool that they choose to like be with other students or be with their leaders. And just like fellowship, I really see them come out of their shell, which is like, dang, like it just gives me so much hope that they're walking out in confidence, even though they don't know what they're walking out into.
Right.
You know, one of them, like, the first time she came, it was the first time she saw snow, you know, and it was just like, just seeing her experience that, and then, like I said, just what they do with free time, you know, like they're not on their phones, they're not like, you know, up to no good, you know. I'm blessed though, because I lead high school girls, not boys.
Yeah, definitely. The amount of snowball fights that have taken place this weekend are pretty crazy.
The girls did start the one yesterday.
Yeah, definitely.
That was us.
What was the question I was going to ask? To any of your girls that maybe watch this later, what is one thing you would want to say to them as like a little love note to your senior girls?
Oh my gosh. I think I would just thank them for inviting me into not just like their Wednesday nights, but this kind of like transition this is a really big thing. Like, you're never going to be a senior again.
Right.
You know, you're never going to be like your last year of high school or your last time before you like actually like feel the full weight of responsibility as an adult.
Yeah.
And I would just thank them for inviting me into that and trusting me with that.
Yeah.
To pray with them, to, you know, have like conversations with them, and to have fun with them. And also, like, there's nothing that they're looking to me for that, like, the next generation isn't going to be looking to them for.
Right.
You know? So to just remember that and just remember that they already have that.
Yeah.
You know? Like, mentally, I'm still, like, 20-something, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm looking around for the adult in the room, and sometimes it's me, and I'm like, bro, we're busted. We're in so much trouble.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You know?
I still feel like I'm a senior, and I'm like, oh, no, I have a child.
Yeah.
I need to be the responsible one.
Yeah, I mean, I would just encourage them for whatever it feels like that they don't have it figured out, that there's always going to be someone looking to them to model something, because they are worthy of looking up to.
Yeah, awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for being on the show.
Awesome.
Thank you for pouring into our students.
Absolutely.
Menifee's awesome. I'm going to have to come visit you guys soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thank you. The chaos is chaosing. This is quite a wild experience with senior retreat. We got students in front of cameras. Uh-oh. Okay, we're still good. Students in front of cameras. Also, on the very first night of senior retreat, I didn't go to bed until 1:30, which is very late for me. And I was kindly woken up shortly before 6 a.m. So I'm running off of roughly 4 hours of sleep. You want to jump on? Heck yeah.
Sorry, I've gum in my mouth.
How you doing today?
Hi.
No, it's okay. Can you please tell the people your name, what campus you go to, and your favorite childhood TV show?
Okay, my name is Scarlett Valentine. I go to Anaheim campus, and my favorite childhood TV show is Word Girl. Yeah.
Really? I've never actually heard of that before, but I'm
It's
also...
on PBS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's it about?
It's about a girl who's like a superhero, but she like is a superhero through words, and she teaches you words.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales is a banger.
VeggieTales.
Still's got some bangers there. Well, Scarlett, tell me a little bit about your life growing up at Anaheim. How long have you been attending? What do you think about your group of girls? Let me start you there.
Okay, so I barely started coming to Anaheim in my like junior year of high school. I wasn't sure at first. Honestly, I never grew up at church.
Right.
So it was all completely new to me. Like and literally every aspect of church, everything. I was brought to church by my friend Dominic and Demarian. They brought me to church and they brought me to youth.
That's awesome.
And I was just like able to kind of enjoy the moment at first, kind of just kind of, dip my toes in the water, figure everything out. Honestly, at first I thought everyone was crazy and that everyone was weird.
Yep.
But I mean, I think that's like the regular reaction, unless I'm just weird, but whatever. Jesus likes the brokenhearted, so. So I once I realized I had an experience my second time like at church during worship. I remember one of the worship leaders, it was Michael was singing, and I literally just saw like a light. Like I saw this light, and I was like, I was just singing because I was like, well, everyone around me is singing, so I just gotta sing. And I was singing, and like this like light just comes like in front of me, and I'm like, whoa, like I'm freaking out, but it's like I'm not, because like I just feel like this warmth, like this love, like this like affection, like it was just so amazing. And like after that moment I was just like I need to feel that again, like I just needed that so badly. So after that I kind of just, instead of my toes, I did my whole body in the water.
That's awesome.
And I just continued to like basically force myself kind of into church and like in the community. And I like after a few months, like I pushed myself and I kind of forced myself into kids ministry. So I started to do that with Janelle. She's amazing, by the way.
Shout out Janelle.
And and then I just pushed myself into that, and then I got to learn all the girls in my group, and I ended up going to camp, and I got to know them even more. And it was just, everyone was just so amazing. Everyone was just so nice. And it's just so cool to like get to know people from all different types of backgrounds and with the same faith. Yeah. With the same want to grow your faith and just continue to be a person of faith.
That's awesome.
So it was just a great experience. Like, I just loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
I love Justin. I've heard nothing but great things from any student that comes from Anaheim.
Yeah.
So that's so cool. I'm glad that you took that step of faith and dove in. What were some of like your fears or maybe uncertainties when you first started coming to youth?
So honestly, like, I just didn't want to feel left out. Like, I didn't want to be that one person that wasn't doing what everyone else was doing.
Right.
And I think obviously it was the worldly side of me that was like, I don't really want to be around these weird people. Like, what are they doing, you know? But at the same time, like, I didn't want to feel excluded, so I just kind of forced myself to act how everyone was acting. And I was kind of scared of being rejected. I think, like, in any sense of community, teenagers want to feel accepted.
Right.
And in another group setting, they want to be in a place where everyone else is at. So that's kind of how I felt initially. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, I think those are very real things to feel when stepping into a new space like youth.
Yeah.
As you were kind of feeling those, what was it like stepping into Anaheim, being in a space where you didn't know, wanted to be accepted? Like, were you welcomed pretty quickly? Like, how was that like for you?
So honestly, like, everyone was super warm. Like, usually I was expecting, like, oh, they're gonna, like, obviously they have to be nice to me, like, it's church. Like, no, like, these people really wanted to get to know me. And, like, I heard a bunch of stuff about other churches, how, like, oh, they're just, you know, they're faking it and all this kind of stuff. So I really had doubts coming in to my first service. But when in this, like, in the atmosphere that Anaheim has, like, it's just, like, so warming and welcoming, and, like, people were checking up on me, and I was like, whoa, what's going on? Like, I was like, hold up. I was like, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, so, like, amazing. I was just like, wow, like, and that's what gets people wanting to keep going, you know? Like, that's just something that people enjoy, and it's, like, it's so nice that it's actually real, you know? Like, it's, like, they're literally living out the, like, message of the church, you know?
Definitely.
So it was just really great that, like, literally everyone was warm and welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Shout out Anaheim. Y'all killing it out there. Shout out Anaheim. Okay, so Scarlett, tell me about your experience here at Senior Retreat. What has God been putting on your heart? What are you feeling, experiencing, like, praying and processing through up here?
So honestly, when we first had the packets, we had a Senior Retreat packet. In that packet, at first, the first little exercise was to name all the disappointments you had in your life. And honestly, like, I sat down and I was like, all right, God, like, throw them at me. I didn't realize I had that many. Like, I was like, whoa, like, this is a lot. Like, it was a lot to put on paper. It was a lot to process. But in the process of doing each exercise, I was able to, like, find this deep, like, feelings that I had within myself. And I was able to realize that I did have guilt. Like, I did have shame. Like, I didn't realize it before, but I haven't accepted the person I was, and I haven't accepted the person I am now.
Yeah.
So I think, like, through the exercises, through, like, everything we're doing here, it has helped me, like, realize who I am, and it has helped me realize, like, how deep I can go within myself.
Yeah.
And I think that's, like, not a problem, but I feel like a lot of people have a hard time, especially teenagers. We're growing, you know, we're changing.
Yeah.
We don't know how to dig deep within ourselves and find out our true feelings and emotions. And I think with Senior Retreat, like, it allows you to do that.
Yeah.
Like, summer camp is super fun. Like, that's awesome. But at the same time, like, it's only fun.
Right.
You know, we have our deep moments, we have our Holy Spirit moments, but, like, again, those are moments. Like, at Senior Retreat, it's a movement, you know? It's, like, something that it continues from throughout the whole retreat. So I think, like, throughout this retreat, I was able to just find out, like, my deep-rooted feelings on topics I didn't even know that I had, you know? And, like, I was able to pray with my my girls, my senior girls, and, like, I was able to pray about my guilt and my shame, and they were able to help me, like, lift that burden that I didn't even know I had. So through that, and I was able to help other people lift their burdens. So, like, through that, like, we accidentally built a community, like, with all the seniors. Like, it was, like, it totally didn't mean to happen, but it happened. And I think through all of this, like, my real true prayers was, like, to help others give up whatever burdens they had on themselves, and for me to give up my guilt and shame of my past, and just accept who I was and that I've grown now. Yeah,
that's awesome. How are you taking all of the things that have happened so far? We still have another day of Senior Retreat, but how are you taking all of this and now going back down the mountain and using it in your life?
So actually, like, I was actually reflecting on that today. I was like, man, like, I need to grab onto this stuff and just shoot it in my life. Like, and I was thinking about when I first started the church, that I needed to plug in myself, just like how I did before. Like, I need to do it again. Like, I need that fire, like, to keep going, to, like, push whatever I learned here and just implement it in my life. Like, not immediately, obviously it's going to take time, but just to, like, everything I'm learning, I want to implement it in the life that I want to have, you know?
Right.
And again, like, what Vivi was saying, like, about obedience, like, I think that's something that I really want to work on, like, specifically because I did ask questions. Like, I was one of those people with questions, and, like, finding those answers isn't going to fulfill me, like she said. So I think, like, finding the answer in God rather than answering my own questions is what I really want to work on and how I really want to implement in my daily life, like, after. Once we go down the mountain.
Yeah, those are great. Lean into those moments, lean into the community you've made up here, and you guys are all gonna be able to encourage yourself in that, and it's a beautiful thing. So what's next for you after high school? Are you going straight to work, trade school, college?
Yeah, all the question everyone's been dreading, but
I gotta ask it.
Yeah, it's a genuine question. So I haven't got UC applications yet, so I do plan to go to college. I got accepted to Vanguard.
Oh, congratulations.
Kudos to Justin. Like, thank you, Justin. But I'm waiting on the UC applications. Again, like, waiting for whatever really he has planned for me. I did, like, pray for Vanguard. I was like, if I'm supposed to go here, make it so, like, obvious. I was like, I'm a little goofy. Just make it so obvious that I need to go there. And he totally did. I didn't even finish, like, applying. Like, they excused my essay. They said, oh, all you need is your old transcript. I was like, okay. Like, I turned it in and got accepted. I was like, okay. I was like, so we'll see you with the UC applications.
I don't know. That might be the sign that he was giving
That's
you.
what I'm saying. So, I'm just waiting on the UC applications, and then after that, I just plan to, like, be obedient, whatever he has planned. I want to major in psychology.
Okay.
And after that, I want to be a MFT, a marriage and family therapist.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my plan. You know, you never know, but it's what I want to do.
That's awesome. Well, Scarlett, I'm for sure praying for you. You have a great group of students around you. Thank you for being on the show. Enjoy the rest of your senior retreat.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So great. So great. It is also very warm in here. I'm like, outside it's like 30 degrees, but then you walk in here and it's just heat the entire time. Anaheim is still locked in. Oh, it looks like they expanded. Got some Redlands in there. Let's see, do we got somebody? No, we don't got him.
I will start here. Should I do it? I just got out of Mafia. I got a long game ahead. I got a long game to pay for.
It's up to you.
I'll do it.
Just a couple quick questions for you, Dave.
Yeah, I got you.
Dave,
what's up?
Can you give me your name, what campus you go to, and your favorite Chipotle item?
Oh, it's easy.
Those are coming up with on the spot, and it's getting harder to figure out.
My name is Dave. I'm from the Anaheim campus.
Back-to-back Anaheim.
Yes,
Shout out Anaheim.
Let's go. Yes, go.
Yeah.
My favorite Chipotle item. Bro, I'm not gonna lie. The sour cream. Sour cream makes the bowl.
Interesting.
No, like
that is a hot take.
It's because it's too dry without the sour cream.
That is a hot take, but I will take it. I will accept that. All right, so
what's up?
Up here at Senior Retreat, we do these things called pause groups, where we kind of take some intentional time to talk through what we're learning, what we're reflecting on. Would you mind sharing kind of some of the things you were thinking through the very first pause group we had?
Yeah, McKay was actually my pause group leader. Good question to ask. I mean, it was not easy. Like, it's not easy just to go a bunch of random people and just start talking to them. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was a bit slow at first, right? Everyone's just getting.
Everyone's feeling awkward. Or just getting the feel for the room.
We had great leaders. Both you and Tony. Yeah. You guys were great. Tony had great insight as well. It's hard to share, obviously, when there's just new people like that, or just talking to new people. But I really did feel like pushed by God, honestly, to speak out. Because one, I don't like awkwardness, silence. But two, it's like, I feel like the main thing was that you get what you put out.
Right.
So if I don't put out anything, what am I gonna get out?
Right.
So that was definitely my main thoughts at first.
In that, you were we were talking about like what we were expecting to hear from God, like this weekend, and you shared you're kind of struggling in hearing from God, and we're a little confused on some of the next steps.
Yeah.
How has senior retreat kind of spoken to some of those things? How has this time in reflection like allowed you to kind of think through some of that stuff?
Yeah, definitely. One, I think we did a hour and a half like solo time in the beginning. I think one that just opened my eyes to the fact that I need more intentional, active solo time.
Yeah.
It was actually really amazing. It's probably my favorite ever solo time ever.
Yeah.
I was just sitting on the stairs watching like the snow and the trees. It was beautiful. So I think it's just having that intentional solo time so I can actually hear God's voice. And two, it's just like trust. I feel like if I don't trust Him, if I'm not leaning into everything with all I have, then I'm not gonna see the fruit really kind of grow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's great. So we just came out of this worship experience. Totally unplanned, like it was the Holy Spirit moving.
Yeah.
What was going on with you in that time? What was God saying to you in those moments?
I feel like that's the like I learned for my last answer. I learned that I needed that solo time from obviously the solo time, but the trust part. That's what I feel like I learned from the worship. Right. I was so happy they kept doing the worship. That was great. And I just felt like God was just calling me to ask for prayer about just trusting Him in general and just like kind of accepting that He has a plan. I just have to lean into that. And yeah, and I also. I felt like I also felt compelled to share with my boys because we did prayers all together. I felt very compelled to share with my boys as well as that, and to really like dive into a closer relationship with them as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. How was that for your group of guys? Like, did that kind of lead the way for everyone else to share?
Yeah, no, it was great. We honestly, one of my friends, he doesn't really share that much, and he explained that's one of his struggles, and it was amazing just to hear him share with us.
Yeah.
It's just like truly blessful, honestly.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Dave, I'll let you get back to your game.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for chatting, man.
Great meeting you.
Great meeting you, dude.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you too. Anaheim's locking in. Anaheim's stepping up to the microphones. There we go. Let's see who else we got. I'm trying to remember all the campuses. I know we got San Bernardino here. They all keep looking at me like I'm crazy. We had Redlands. I don't see the Redlands student, though. Hunter Park, Palm. No Fresno. Menifee, obviously, was represented. Lake Arrowhead still hiding in their corner. But, man, this is senior retreat. This is the craziness. If you're a student, you want to answer some questions? I mean, there's no perfect answer. That's crazy. I'm just going to ask you about senior retreat. Join on in, Zoe. YOLO? That's crazy in this climate.
Something like that.
I'm just kidding. Zoe, can you please tell me your name, what campus you go to, and your favorite Care Bear?
Oh, cute. My name is Zoe. I go to San Bernardino.
Shout out San Bernardino.
Yeah, and my favorite Care Bear. It's probably like the blue cloudy one. Because when he smiles, it's like so rare, but it's so happy. It's like better than everyone else's.
I don't know if he's like sadness or like which one, but
it's like stormy or something.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about, and I'm like, I feel you. You got a good vibe. So Zoe, tell me a little bit about what it's been like for you growing up at the San Bernardino campus, going to youth there. What has that experience been like for you?
Well, it's definitely like more of a different experience than I've heard of. When I was younger and before I went to go to youth group, I was so excited to go.
Right.
And like I think I was in 7th grade because that was the Sandals age when I entered youth group.
Yeah.
And I was so excited to go. I came in, we had our youth lead, I think was Rocky. So shout out to Rocky.
That would have been back
but
then, yeah.
He was amazing. Probably one of the best youth leaders I've ever had. And he was with me for the end of that year.
Right.
And just the whole community, like right at first, was like, we're here to have a good time.
Yeah.
and like here's Jesus in it, which was like growing up in the church, it was always like here's Jesus,
right?
But this was kind of like a let's have fun with Jesus.
Okay.
And it was a really cool thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, San Bernardino's gone through a lot of changes, but they've just dived in and locked into it, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
How has God maybe been speaking to you at senior retreat? What has he been stirring on your heart while you've been up here?
Well, so at my school, we are going through different parts of like the end of the year for the seniors. And we have what's called senior chapel.
Okay.
We haven't picked who has gotten to speak yet. So we have all been trying to like do some sermon things. And I came up here just asking God to like, hey, give me some pointers.
Right.
Give me something. And what I'm speaking on is being light. And I have been shown this weekend how much light can really do.
Yeah.
Because like this weekend I have been given back blocked out memories.
Oh, wow.
I have been shown things that were long forgotten.
Yeah.
So God really showed me the true meaning of light in life, and not just light for other people, but light for ourselves.
Right. That's awesome. What has that experience been like for you? Is some things are kind of getting uncovered, you're getting some things back. How have you been processing that, really?
The processing is really hard, especially up here where because I came with San Bernardino, I have one other girl and a leader. But the group has made it like easy to process.
Yeah.
So even all of these like really heavy things that are going on, it makes it easier to process when you have people that knit close.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of anxiety and fear behind it, because these things that have happened that I didn't remember really scared me.
Right.
But then with the help of my youth leader and my fellow seniors, like I've gotten an overwhelming sense of peace in these scary moments.
Right. Yeah. That's so cool to be able to see your leader and your other group member just really come alongside you and uplift you in that. That's really cool. What would you say to maybe a younger student who's experiencing a lot of fear or anxiety or stress around their certain situations? What would you say to encourage them?
Honestly, like it sounds like a broken record in the church, but look up to God.
Yeah.
Because I was told that so much when I was younger, and I was like, okay, yeah, but it doesn't work.
Right.
But what you have to do is you can't just look up to God. You have to give him 100%.
Yeah.
If God is just a part of what you have, Satan has a foothold.
Right.
But if God is everything that you have, there is no room for fear. There's no room for anxiety or for Satan.
Yeah.
So you just have to fill your life with all things good and with all things God.
Yeah. That's awesome. Zoe, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been a blast meeting you this weekend.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your senior retreat.
Thank you.
The room is rapidly closing in on me. I'm really hoping this content turns out to be okay, because it's some loud noises in here. I'm thinking maybe one more before I shut this down. What time is it? About 20-ish minutes. Who can I call out? Who can I call out? I'm really intrigued by this game over here. Let's see. They're locked in. Let's see. Do we got one more? You're good. You know what? I think I'm gonna call it a wrap there. SCY, this has been another episode of the Youth Booth, the Senior Retreat Edition. It's a little bit crazy, a little wild. We'll see how well this content turns out. But if you are liking this content, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share with a friend. All those things help our channel grow. So ultimately reach new students and tell them about Jesus and what that can mean for them. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Peace.